All right, welcome to Talk About Paint Club, your tri-monthly tangent for the world around you. I'm Rick Strohmeyer, and I just found out something cool. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that. So I don't want to be a vampire anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
And I'm Matt Hatchess, and I just found out for the last 5 minutes I was muted, and I had a panic attack with Rick trying to figure out why we couldn't hear me, and it's because I didn't press the fucking unmute button. So that's the night we're having.
All right. So here we are. All right. It is Monday, so it's very, very much a different run from the routine that we normally do on Saturday. So thanks for sticking with us this month, because every day has been different. And yeah, before I go any farther, I meant to do this last week, and so I wanted to give a big shout out to the Glowman Dan group on Facebook, who lets me post the link to this show every week. So I meant to give big thanks for that last week, and totally biffed it. And so I want to say thanks. So thanks a bunch, guys. All right. So that being said, like I said, it's Monday. It's all right.
Wild and crazy kids.
The old adage holds true that Mondays don't suck, your job does. Anyway, I had a great day at work today. So the age-old question before we go much further: what are you drinking tonight?
Okay, well, I have two different drinks, and one is Life Source water, and then I have Snapple because I need caffeine right now. But I just need to point out before we discuss beverages or anything, this trend is fucking ridiculous. First of all,
why do you have one if it's ridiculous?
Oh, because I'm an adult. I'm talking about the 15-year-olds who have them. Like my stepdad's like, those things are like in the lost and found like the week after Christmas. And I was just like, because I'm a grown ass person who can pay, spend what she wants to on shit and be like, okay, let's see how this is. And I filled this on Sunday. I filled this shit with 2 water bottles, and that's not even the full thing. And I put 3 ice cubes in it, and I'm like holding it like oh my god, this thing is fucking heavy as hell. There is no way those middle school children are walking, or they're gonna have the biggest arms in the entire planet. But I gotta give it to Stanley, because my stepdad, he has like flashlights and stuff by them, so I knew like the brand itself was good. I'm not even trying to like fucking advertise the shit, but the ice cubes were chilling in there for like a good 7-8 hours. I was like, okay, but there's no way that and like the kids I teach, there was literally like 5 or 6 of them, and I'm like, why do you have a $50 cup? I know why I do. Because I earned the money to put it in buying it, but why do you have one?
That seems like such a luxury. You don't
need it. Trust me. Like, you don't need to do it.
Like, I don't know.
This is like when somebody asked me to read. One of my clients back in the day asked me to read 50 Shades of Grey just to understand why it was so like hype at the time, and I was like, all right. Sometimes I just want to know what's the hype about. Why are people? And it's it literally all it taught me is that people be wasting money on their children for unnecessary fucking water bottles that they're going to be like missing in like 2 weeks.
Would be interesting, like if I were still at the at a public school, like how many of those I'd find in a lost and found.
A lot. My dad literally was like, "Girl, like, don't buy your own? You'll have 4 at the end of the year." The headphones that I was trying to get plugged in, they're fucking Google Pixels. They've been in the lost and found since before Christmas. They're like $100 headphones.
Yeah, we'd get some weird shit, but also like one of the sped teachers would she got all the sped teachers into this routine of at the end of the year going through the unclaimed lost and found and finding snow pants that um, were still there so that she could equip her sped class with snow pants. And it's like those are expensive.
But that's
Like,
sweet.
snow pants are way more than a $50 cup. And yeah, so Mary would go do that. And then I was like, how come your kids always have, and yeah, and it was like, I was like, Mary, how is it your kids always bring their snow pants? And she said, oh, honey, they don't do that.
I found them.
These are the class ones that I got from Lost and Found for the past couple of years. Like, okay. So yeah, that's what, so like for that, it was like 10 years worth of everybody like, all right, let's figure out the snow pants so that they would get them and then they would figure out like which class would need what sizes, and of course then when you have the kids
who gets dibs on what.
Yeah, and of course when you also have like the kids that are either ridiculously big or ridiculously small for their age. You try and accommodate those with what you got and stuff. So yeah, no kidding.
I think the best thing about being from a rich ass town is like my rich ass town. I have found when I used to work like, you know, like off like you wouldn't know what Greenwich Avenue is. When I used to work on Greenwich Avenue, like I have found Fendi sunglasses, Ray-Bans. I found a Tiffany's bracelet. What else? It was a $600 fucking silver Tiffany's bracelet, which somebody then stole from me. So fuck them.
It just goes back into the cosmos, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like nobody else wanted it. I was like, "Oh, this is a cute bracelet. Can I dibs it?" And they were like, "Yeah, like that's like it's boring." And I was like, "All right, like I think it's cute." And then I looked at it like because you know Tiffany's has the insignia, and I was like, "Bro, you guys are so dumb." I found like Tom Ford sunglasses, which are like $500. Yeah. Like when I used to work retail, the shit we would find. And the claim, like the waiting the 2 weeks for someone to not come back or come back was hell. Because you're just like, don't come back. I want those fucking sunglasses.
Like your own private Goodwill.
I think I was too young to appreciate it though, because I was like 19, 20 years old, and now I'm like, I don't know where them sunglasses are. But guarantee you, these headphones will never go away. What are you drinking?
Water.
Cheers. My big ass. Look, it's a bit. I made sure it wasn't one of the hype ones that like everybody was going with. It's a watercolor one because I'm an artist. See, that's how I that's how I justified that shit. Let it go, okay?
Okay.
And you could tell it's water because when it's coming out, it's clear. So I'm not sitting here going,
Could be vodka.
Yeah, I'm drinking water. Rick, let me tell you, I forgot today was fucking Monday, and I was like, why is my stepdad's car not here? And then I remembered, oh, it's Monday, and that motherfucker works until 9 p.m. I was panicked. I thought he was in the hospital. I didn't unmute myself for this shit. Like something is going on in the something's in the water, and it's metal, I guess.
All right, so I'm gonna do a little housekeeping here. We got. All right, this is the last show for the month of January. Can you believe it? And
I can't believe January is almost over.
And yeah, yeah. Anyway, so we won't be in next week. That's all right. So I don't even remember that. I looked it up once and I can't even remember what date I said we'd come back. All right, so we'll be back on the 3rd, right as rain. Yeah. So that color of the month is neon orange. Actually, I do have something. I painted something with that today, so that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
And then let's see what else we got. We don't have anything else. I don't think we have any shows going on right now, and or any announcements right now. January is always kind of the January is always kind of like a flux to see what the hell's going to happen for the rest of the year. So
I like to in January kind of like, I don't want to say makeup stuff because that's not the word. Not makeup, like get my bearings on like what do I want to like make. You know, like for like a sculpt, like I have a bunch of shit that was like in my iPad and I was like, why is that just sitting there? Why is it like, so that's how, like last year it was pebbles and this year I think there's like one or two that I'm like, okay, let's get this going. I kind of like to look at January as like the Monday of the year where you're like, okay, how do let's take the planner out and how is the year going to look at, you know, oh, okay, let's get this done by March.
There you go. That's cool.
Especially now that like I'm teaching like stuff, like we cleaned out the entire room and like I had to move everything into a different section and now it's like literally my section, like don't touch it. And the drawers, I was like, this is perfect because I cleaned out everything that we did last year that had like leftover like one or two things, three things. And I sat there going, okay, this is going to be February, March, April, May. Okay, like and like reorganize kind of like the rest of the year. Yeah, kids, man. You get it. They make you sit there going like, plan.
Are you kidding? No way.
Well, I was gonna say you didn't get the luxury of that. I guess
the joy of being a TA is that, you know, I had 5 minutes of paperwork every day. I was, you know, I showed up and I followed orders from a day to day, but like, yeah, I wasn't responsible for planning anything. If I recommended something, my supervisor might be like, "Are you going to lead it?" I'm like, "Well, maybe." But yeah,
maybe.
I had to do more planning when we were working from home than I did on a regular day to day, and kind of liked that. I mean, I liked working from home.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, like, yeah,
that's why you like it now.
I love it now. I mean, like, yeah, my last year for the school, I went looking for an online job, and you know, I thought I was applying for an online job when they did the bait and switch. Man, they could tell I was unhappy during the interview. But yeah, I was like, yeah, my last year, I actively sought out an online job. So I was like, I
didn't know that.
I can't do that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well you're going to be working here." What? Like, I thought it was an online position. Oh yeah, well we just put it there because we were blah blah blah. I'm like, no. I was like, so let me show you how to tank an interview, because I can ace an interview. I also know how to fuck one up. So yeah. Anyway, so that's that. All right. So let's see. We have a couple things I wanted to discuss tonight. But we're like, okay, so our normal guys not having it. All right. So yeah. So we're gonna play a game in a little bit, and I did not want to give Nicole any heads up whatsoever about what we were playing, except for the idea that she needed a whiteboard because everybody else gets to use the chat and they can answer by virtue of the chat. So yeah, other than that, you know, we're gonna, before we get into that, we'll get into the regular recap shit. just buy time. All right. So, what have you been working on lately?
Cleaning up my classroom.
Oh, and I was making things for Mom's anniversary the other day. That were like rose derivative and these like mini things. I started making like these little mini rose vases.
Oh, that's adorable.
And and I say this in a non-deprecative way. I'm a psycho, and I will put the work in for the shit that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that whatever. And like this is the same thing I say about people who camp outside. Like I'll never do that, but like if it's something I want or something I care about, I will do that work. Like whatever. So these things were supposed to be rare as fuck. I went to like 3 different Targets to figure out if I got them. And I got all 5 of them. And then like
you didn't want eBay.
Hell no, I didn't want to fucking eBay that shit. Absolutely not. I wanted to find them on my own. I wanted them to be meaningful. The first one my stepdad found with me, and I was just like, look at you setting precedents. And like the baby's breath doesn't come with it. So I found that and I added it to that. And then I'm getting this stuff at Michael's that's like a texture. It's like a snow texture paint, like to kind of fluff these up because they look a little dull. And then like these guys were called like rose candles, and they actually glow in the dark. I don't think we'll be able to see it, but like yeah, we won't be able to see it. But the resin like actually glows, which is kind of cool. So I have like 3 more of these to finish, and I know like what I'm gonna write on each of the cards, and then I'm gonna put like on her little thing. And so I was gonna start doing the Legos also, and then it was like you need a vase, and I was like, bitch. Like, why did I think that it came with a plastic vase? It literally says vase not included, and I was like, oh, oops. Like, that was a foul. Party foul. But like, I don't know. Like, these take longer than I thought, because like it says 5 to 10 minutes, but I used my resin instead of theirs, so it'd be like less bubbly in the clear one. And I was like, this is taking forever. And I'm sitting there with this light going like this, like trying to like cover it too, and like give it like a little like dome of like cure faster. And I'm like, why is this still moving in there? Fucking like. But then I don't know if I'm gonna make it tonight, but there's one that I want to make. Maybe I'll make one tonight because it's kind of cool. It's now that was the Valentine's Day rare one. The rare one for Easter is Wonka bars, and it has a resin mold for you to make little mini Wonka bars.
Nice.
And it comes with golden tickets.
Oh, very cool.
And Wonka bar wrappers.
All right.
And like they made one that's an Easter basket. If you dip the white eggs in water, like it reveals like the color. I was like, dude, I'm so saving like some of these for like those specific ones for my god kid. She's gonna get a kick out of that shit.
That's cool.
And like you could tell like if you got it because it had the gold wrapper on the bottom. So my dumbass, when I got it, I was like, I got a golden ticket. I feel like it was appropriate, you know, like if you don't sing the song, then do you even know the movie?
No, that's good on you, dude.
But plus my mom and I, like Willy Wonka is actually like a funny like connect thing for my mom and I too. She showed it to me when I was really young, and I had like a terrifying fear of Violet turning violet.
Oh.
So when she blew up and she turned like into the blueberry, I'd sit there each time and be like hysterical, like just uncontrollable. Like you couldn't console my ass. I'm like, why is she a blueberry? It just shit that like a logical child brain. So when I don't know, I thought this was cute as fuck, and I was like, oh look, another little thing. If they do a Wizard of Oz one, I don't know what they would make, but that would be another shit that like Mom and I would be like, those flying monkeys. Fuck those flying monkeys. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
All right, Dylan, real quick. No, this is the last episode for January. You know,
Yeah.
we do 3 typically, and we've only had one Saturday. We were going to delay. We were supposed to be yesterday, but we had to delay till today. So yeah, so you get your time with us no matter what.
I know. What a shame.
Thanks for joining.
What a shame.
Yeah.
You must hate us for being your consistent fun time. We're gonna play a game, Dylan. That's why I made sure that you knew we were live. Let me tell you, I texted him. I was like, just so you know, we're live, because I know that he would be fucking bummed as fuck if he missed this. Every time he does, he texts me that he's bummed that he missed it. I think it's cute.
That's awesome.
Patriot chic.
All right, let's see. So, let's see. Well, I finally fixed the tail on my Pup, and where like it's just a digital, it's just an STL, but the next time I print up a Pup, it'll have a new tail instead of.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah.
Can you do like this if you don't have it? Like,
I fucking hate doing that.
I hate it too. That's why I try to send you everything.
Let's see. I hate doing that. Except I was so proud of the idea that I did this. I ended up taking a picture of the screen and sending it to JFO. So here's a picture of the screen I took a picture of. But there it is. It's a simple compressed egg shape or teardrop shape. I'm pleased with it. That's the new tail, and that's what I'm going with.
After.
So I'm pretty pleased. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And
I like it like that.
Thank you. And it should mold up better. I mean, like the last version.
It lets painting have a lot more like things that you could do on it too.
Right. The last version I ended up doing when I got the 3D print, I ended up just breaking it off, putting a different, sculpting out a crescent moon shape, and then giving it to my guy to cast. So there is that version going to be floating around, but yeah. So the new version has that teardrop shape, which I like more. I like that. But like tomorrow, I'm going to go make my very first 3D print of something, and that's exciting.
Yay!
Yeah. So it'll be done with the filament printer. I've looked up. Yeah, right. We've already had this discussion about how much I love the digital age, but yeah, so it's kind of cool. But painting wise this week, what have I done? I've got this McFarlane.
What haven't you done?
Well, there's a bunch. So I have this McFarlane toy that I got a while ago, and again we're just clearing out the queue, and hey, there we go, much better. Yeah. So I got this McFarlane toy. It's an alien that I'm going to be having. Yeah, I'm going to have him coming out of a portal. I've like. I made this a little harder than it should be, but I made it hard on purpose because because of the plastic, I was able to use plastic cement and weld most of the joints together, so it's how I need it to be when it comes out of its environment. and then I have a funny backstory for it, which I'm pretty much just saving this to tell on the YouTube video. And that was supposed to be done yesterday by virtue of my own planning, and it did not. But other things got done instead. But
As long as others are good.
well, I'll show you. I have well, I'm a little bummed right now because like the exhaust fan at the makers is down, which means the spray booth is down. And so like I do have some
which
things
is
that
vital for you right now in the winter.
It is. Toys I wanted to varnish. There are also toys I wanted to prime that are also like impeding the workflow because like they're like what's supposed to be right now, and they can't be right now because so that alien is very much a side effect of what happens when I don't have a current project to be able to move forward. The bummer is that we have color coded tags to put on things. We have what's called a parking ticket that are green that you put on your stuff. If you're going to store something not in your designated cubby, you put a parking ticket on it so it lets people know whose it is, how long it's been there, and whether or not you can move it, or whether or not it's able to be moved. For example, like in the unlikely event, my Medusa in the spray booth with the green tag, there would be two options for it: please don't touch, or move if necessary. Right? There's no way you should ever be leaving stuff in the finishing room for more than 24 hours. But we have drying racks to prevent shit like that being left in there, okay? But people do it anyway. So for the most part, I'm very courteous about moving other people's stuff because the number 2 rule is don't scratch it, right? But sometimes when people are making like a bedroom set in suite in there, it has to get moved. But so that's the parking ticket, and I went on a big aside for that. Then there's a broken ticket, which is orange, and you tape the ticket on. You explain, and it's pretty much like once you see that should be it, right? You're like, don't fucking use this right now. It's broken, right? And typically, if you see it on equipment, you're like, hey, we're not going to use a table saw right now because the orange fucking label's on it, right? And we don't even have to talk about what the red tickets mean. But so you don't have to. So on the outside of the finishing room, aka the spray booth, that's where the exhaust controls are. All right. So somebody had taped an orange broken tag on that. It says okay, the exhaust, and said, hey, it's not working, and blah blah blah. And of course, on the ticket, it gives you contact information, so you can contact whatever steward of that area is, so that they can be aware that something's not broken or something's not working properly. All right, this all makes sense, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so that was on there. Ah, crap, I can't use it. Okay, fine, I won't use it. No problem. Guy whose profession is dependent on this thing. That's fine. I won't use it. Every motherfucker else is decided like, hey, I can spray in there, blah blah blah. I'm like, that thing's just a suggestion, right?
What's that sign?
Yeah, what's that sign? No, and then we'll just open up the door and spray. It's like, so you open up the door to the rest of the fucking facility so that you can vent out port. No, yeah. So yeah, it's been a little frustrating to see how some inconsiderate folks are deciding like,
and consider a fucking
me. The whole shop revolves around me and my ability to spray something, as opposed to like, hey, maybe I should wait. I'm not the only one, because you're not the only one fucking waiting. But like, nobody else wants to smell your fucking project, right? Like,
Me.
it's like nobody wants to smell your project, no matter what it is. Like, so yeah. And then so like the other day, I went in to go use the laser cutter, and the finishing room is right to the left of that. So I'm like, "God, people are still fucking using these." So I went and grabbed another orange ticket. Instead of putting it on the control panel, which is where like you would put it to identify it, I taped it on the fucking door. And I'm like, come on, people, this shit is not. So it's like,
Please tell me people still were like, what?
so it's like, as much as I love going to using the makers, the Twin City makers, I love using that. It's got an amazing set. Sometimes just like the idea of like, we're all in this together. Sometimes shit breaks and we have to stop. Right? That's just, it's the fucking way. Yeah. So a little frustrating about that this week, but so I've been doing other things, and one of the other things that I've been doing is I made some cool stencils, and let's see, we're going to get to here. I shared this on Facebook. I did not share this on Instagram. I think it might have been. So I made some stencils of pups,
Ooh.
and
How
yeah.
do you make
I
a
mean,
stencil? The laser cutter?
what?
How do you make a stencil? The laser cutter?
Yeah. So these were 3 stencils I made, or this was a stencil I made with 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. And yeah, so these were monoprints that I made with some pop-up stencils. Now, I'm pretty pleased the way they came out.
How the
Don't
fuck
look
did you
like
do
a
that?
gummy bear.
The airbrush?
Yeah, so it's a method called pochoir. That's the fancy schmancy 50-cent. Did I actually stream it, or did I actually share it?
Yeah, no, you did.
I did. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's the fancy term for using stencils as printing is called pochoir, Pochior, or poquire, if you are
The
going to
fucking
pronounce
French.
everything. It, anyway, and so a famous artist by the name of Henri Matisse, uh, pretty much patented the methodology of making that, and famous to this day. So yeah, I made the stencils on the laser cutter, and I just went to town on. I painted them until the stencil started degrading, and I think I got let's see, there's 12 down there, so I got 16 out of the bunch before the stencil started
Ain't too
degrading, and that's
shabby.
pretty cool. So yeah, and I'm pleased with that.
16 ain't too shabby.
16 is not too shabby at all. Yeah, and I've been doing something, yeah, and trying a couple different things with it too. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And yeah, I'm going to go in tomorrow and make a couple different stencils for that, and have some different prints set up.
When things
So
break
yeah,
in space, do they give you like a tentative when that will be fixed?
no, it's so something. So like that's the space is all member driven. So like they don't hire people to do stuff really. Like they just find what members that can do it to code, right? But typically, yeah, like the spray booth was the brainchild of one of a member who who passed before the completion of it. In fact, they dedicated the room to the dude. There's a picture of the dude in the entry, the lobby of the makerspace. Yeah, nice guy. And his son's a member too, and son's a great dude too. But yeah, so they no, it's all pretty much, as you can imagine, it's an all volunteer run social club. So like you're dependent on other volunteers' time for being able to troubleshoot or maintain things. So if you have somebody who's passionate and punctual, or has the time to be able to do it, typically, things get troubleshot in about in a week or two. Um, like one time one time the laser cutter, it the tube needed to be replaced, and so like it was down for about a month waiting to get a new tube from China. Um,
Oh God.
so
Because
yeah.
because you guys then have to buy the tube, yeah.
hmm So yeah.
How does that work? Do you guys like all chip in or?
Well, so for that, every department, because you imagine like it's broken down into departments. Every department pretty much gets like an allotted amount of funds from the money that it's raised off of memberships and donations and stuff. And so like they figure out like how much each one's going to be used each year, and then like what's potentially the most expensive replacement they could do for each one, and they try and for each department they try to allot funds for like that. It
That
seems
makes
to work
sense.
out. It seems to work out just fine, but like hiccups happen, and then like for the laser cutter, for like the laser cutter, um, your your membership gets you through the door, right? But they do ask that for every hour of use of the laser cutter, you make a $5 donation to it. So
Why is that?
that's how the laser cutter. Because like every week you have somebody coming in to maintain it, to either give it a little cleanup or do whatever. So yeah, and all that shit costs money. So
And
that's how
that's
they do it.
why art's not free, folks.
That's right. So yeah, so it's cool. Like yeah. So what else? That's yeah. So I've got I've got 3 projects that are on hold because of the waiting for the finishing room. But it's like I could in theory use an airbrush primer on 2 of the projects, and I just don't want to because I'm like I want that joyous spray paint durable primer, and so I'm just like, well, I'll wait. Um, Other than that, like that's it.
Primer or varnish?
The varnish, the both, but
Both.
primer more than anything. Like I don't like using airbrush varnish if I can avoid it. Like I don't I don't care for it. I will use it as an intermediary or an intermittent step. Like if I have to do some type of glaze work and I want to use it as a save mode for what's underneath, I'll do that. But like as the final top coat, I don't like to do that.
It's not. It's definitely not like your first thing. Your
Yeah,
first choice.
right. I'd rather wait till March where I can spray outside.
I like that.
But yeah, so that's that. All right, so we've been blobbing on for a while. We're gonna just jump into said game, and here we go. I have not told Nicole what we were doing so that Nicole cannot have an unfair advantage. So
Nice.
Dylan, you get to play along. All right, so we'll get rid of whatever base rules I need to in order to make sure that this is kosher. All right, so we're going to do a definition matching game.
Right? Oh dear God.
Yep. So I will give you guys. It's multiple choice. Don't worry. But the answer is when I see it. So like, we're not going to do A, B, or C. You got to write down the fucking answer. I'm going to give you the answer options though. But when I see it, like, because like
kind of like the Newlywed Game.
Right, but like in streams and stuff where people are like, "Oh no, my answer or my bid was first, blah blah blah." It could be laws of physics could say it was, but what I see is what is the first answer, not like whatever you saw, right? Buffering and all, right?
Yeah.
So to facilitate how primitive we're going to be, I'm going to be holding up the answers like so because I
Jesus
couldn't
Christ.
figure out a third camera option. So I ended up having to print up stuff to be able to get this executed well or better.
Okay, let me put this down. Hold on.
So ha. All right, and then everything that I've got is I didn't want to talk about what website I got this off of because I didn't want to in advance because I didn't want to be like, ooh, well, I'm just going to go over there and swallow that dictionary. James Schwab. Nah, it's going to be fun.
Dylan, honestly,
And
I don't know vocabulary.
I think I have 8 of these, but I will probably stop at 5 just because. But long story short about why we're doing it because it's fun, or at least I think it's fun. So there you go, and you tuned in for this kind of fun. All right,
because I think it's fun. I love that.
I think it's fun
because it's my fucking party, and I just.
All right.
Okay, let me. Sorry, I decided to make like the worst resin one today, like while we're doing this live because it's like sushi, so you're putting micrograms of like sand that are supposed to be rice in this, and my eyes are not having that right now.
Okay, here we go.
Oh wait! Oh my god, my whiteboard. Okay,
it's your whiteboard, dude.
Hold on, get off my fucking goddamn chop.
Wait, I just realized, is Rick wearing Sid's shirt from Toy Story?
Rick is Sid from Toy Story.
Toy Story. Captain Harlock from Captain Harlock shirt from Captain Harlock. Glenn Danzig wore this a lot when he was singing for the Misfits, and I just happened to have one. So yeah, great observation though, Dylan.
I like to say that you are Sid only because you.
I will cut them open. Yep. I will turn it upside down. I will cut it open. Then I'll shove a helicopter up its ass. All right. So first thing we're going to do is one of these is not a surface preparation for painting. Yeah, fresco, matte medium, rabbit skin glue, or gesso. Which one of these is not a preparation for painting?
Jesus, it's backwards.
Well, there you go. 5 points to Gryffindor.
I'm actually Hufflepuff, but thank you.
Minus 5 points to Gryffindor. All right. So see how that works? All right, cool. Now let's see.
Now I'm like, yeah, let's keep doing this shit. I got it right.
You got it right. This means this game fucking rules.
Basically, yeah, that's exactly how this works.
I'm winning. This game rules.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's see. I have to go to the definition before I do this, and then we're doing this. All right. So I'm gonna. Okay.
Dylan, you have to type faster. You didn't even fucking write anything. What do you mean you're not gonna? Ooh.
No. You want to answer? You put your answer in the comments. If I see yours before Nicole's, you get the win.
Literally, God, it's not that hard.
Hi, Robin. All right, so let's see. Your definition, then I'm going to pop up the answers, and you can do this. All right. So this method is the applying of an opaque or semi-opaque color over an area with. Over it. Okay, so let's see. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the applying of an opaque or semi-opaque color over an area of an oil painting without completely obscuring the underpainting. All right.
Okay, I understand.
All right. But since J.K. Rowling is a turf, we don't speak. Oh yeah, I suppose so. Oh, that sucks. All right. So what we're looking for is a term that means you're going to work over paint over your
I don't
initial
think this
color
is. I don't
without
think this is right.
what?
I don't think this is right.
No. Try again.
Try
So yeah,
again.
to apply an opaque or semi-opaque color over an area without completely obscuring the painting underneath. Oh, I'm not doing letter options. You have
Yeah,
to.
he said it. He literally said it when we started.
I will not take letter options as it. Scumbling to Robin.
I did not know that. I did not. Okay.
Scumbling. Yeah, typically
Stumbling.
it's for oil painting, but it's okay to be done in oil in acrylics too. It's just fine. Yeah. So essentially, you know how you dry brush?
Yes.
So imagine instead of taking your brush to like wipe it off on something else before you start going all over, that's what scumbling is. Hey, Kevin. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah. We'll do that one. This one's fun.
Oh boy.
This one,
we're doing Ollie. We're doing Ollie. Come on, we're right at you.
That's fucking bullshit. All right. So I do have a brush. But very dark. So I ended up making a drawing of this. All right. So imagine this is your ferrule of the brush and your hairs.
Okay.
There's your brush. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the name of this hair right here?
Oh, fuck me.
So we're gonna have lead hair, side hair, sight hair, or none of these.
You think I know any of these things?
Dylan is correct. It is none of them.
Whenever I see none, I'm like, that's not. No, it can't be that answer.
You think it's fake, right?
Yeah.
So typically that hair is just that hair, when you get it on your paintbrush, it's a factory defect, or it's just a loose hair because the glue just did not catch it. You can almost always either pull them out or trim it. But but there is a misnomer amongst some painters that they call it either a lead hair or a guide hair, like you would a rifle sight. But it's absolute bullshit. So, yeah. All right. So we have Nicole, Robin, and Dylan all tied with 1.
Boo.
All right. Let's see. This is the done. This is the going. Oh, that's cool. All right. Let's see. I have to read the fucking definition. Sorry, guys. All right. So, okay. So this definition is a coat of color that is applied over priming. Because typically...
Wait, say it again. Say it again. Sorry, I yawned halfway through. And it...
Oh, my. Closest I'll get to the lead. That's the toe of the brush. You guys are all right. All right, so this is a coat of color that is applied over the priming. Painters dislike working on white, so this thin veil tint is brushed on as the working color, as the first working color. So it is the main color you put on something after priming. How about that? So do we call it a base coat, an imprimatura, an un color, or a monochrome?
I also drew a toe for Robin.
Well, I saw Dylan's first, but Dylan, it's wrong.
Well, that's what I call it.
Yep. So
Oh, is it? Oh, no. I'm not going to be able to spell it this fast enough.
We'll hold it nice and pretty.
This is terrible. I was about to say, this
2
is
points
terrible.
to Gryffindor.
Like, this is terribly, like, me trying to type that. Now I'm erasing your toe, Robin. You don't even get it. You don't even get the fucking toe now.
All right. Actually, this one I want to just get. I just want to freebase this. This
I think the best
definition, but
part is that your ass like is doing this so fast that I can't even Google it, even if I wanted to.
All right. So, who's going fast? All right. So this one is scratching through your current layer of color to expose what is underneath. We have Sgraffito, Nugento, Exacto, or Bolero.
It's just gonna fucking be the answer at some point.
Yep, there you go.
That one I actually that one I think I actually knew. That's why I was like, wait.
All right,
I knew it was a word. I just didn't, I guess, know what the fucking definition was.
Oh, there we go. All right, I gotta find.
Yeah, see, now Dylan's out of the lead. He has no chance in hell.
Because of 2? No idea. Because of 2? Come on, man. It's fun.
No, I just like to fuck with him. It's my favorite hobby.
All right. Okay. So now we'll go to this. Okay. So this is an action that describes when one color runs into another. So we have bleeding, dressing, seepage, or grating. What did you put? Seepage. Wah, wah.
Okay, because now my ass that's gonna write the one I thought, which is always the obvious one, is incorrect. That I thought was incorrect.
Wah, wah. Bleeding. Correctamundo.
See what? This is like the nun, the one that I'm like, oh, it has to be that because that's what I call it. I'm like, it's clearly not the
I put in a
answer.
cringy word in there and just to see like what's going on.
Oh, what, bleeding? Nice.
We want to go 2 more?
Hell yeah. I want to see us.
All right, let's see. What do we got? Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see. Oh, this is the act of making something look older than it is. So again, the act of making something look older than it is. We got buffering, antiquing, weathering, or moisture farming.
I can't spell. Ow. and I just fucking hit myself in the face with it.
Well, very good, Nicole.
I hit myself in the face to try to write it as fast.
We're getting cutthroat here.
I'm like, smack.
Well, Nicole, you have won. But we have one more to do.
While smacking myself in the fucking face. No.
We'll save it for another day.
No, I want to hit the last one. What the hell?
You sure? All right.
Well, yeah, because we're already doing it.
All right.
Now we'll just have to do it again.
All right. So we have the last one. Guys, thanks a lot for playing along. This is fun. We'll get this again. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because, like I said, the spray booth is down. So I'm very much thinking of doing some art definition stuff on my other channel. So thanks for beta testing with me. All right, so this is applying small dots of color with the brush, often held at a right angle for support. We have deleting, patching, stipple, or layering. And what'd you got? Oh, good job. 15 points for Slytherin. All right.
I like how you're like dots, and I'm starting to write stipple. I'm like, I know it. This is my fucking goddamn Super Bowl. Okay. Good for you, Dylan. Good for you. You knew the answer. I'm actually proud of that.
There we go.
Stippling is one of my favorite things.
All right, everybody's household gets 50 points. Congratulations to Nicole. I suppose can we do? Is it okay we do Harry Potter references, even though J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit?
I think so.
I don't know. Whoa! All right, very cool. All right,
is Dylan smacking his head out here to get it?
Nicole is DQ'd because she has to wait for the questions to finish. Oh.
Well, I already know the answer.
Wow.
Well, then I can't ever play because if it's art stuff, I may or may not know the answer already.
Yeah, fine.
We got to make a game for just the audience. Then that's like.
It would be fun. Might do that later.
Where it's like, hey,
we could do an audience one day. That'll be cool. We'll do that. Like people are like, oh, crying foul because Nicole. What the fuck? All right. Seriously, we're here to have fun, right? Settle down, Rain Man.
He's such a baby. Shut up,
Settle
Dylan.
down, Rain Man.
Fuck up. God, he's so lucky that I love him. Oh
Your words hurt me.
God. He's so lucky that I love him. Dear God.
Everybody. It's great. All right, so let's see. What else we got going on? Shit. All right, so we have the goddamn. I don't have a show. Do you have any shows coming up?
No.
No?
That sounds so sad when I say it like that.
I'm like, yeah, there's no shows coming up. I mean, like, so I have the Sugar Frosted show with Ghost Fox in March, and
ooh,
I have no idea what I'm doing with that. I'm kind of tempted to do, dude. I'm sore from yesterday.
I told him to go ice skating at Bryant Park as a date option. Like I thought of this, I gave him this idea. I was like, oh, you know what? Take her to Bryant Park. It's cute. And he fell like 7 times. I saw his text and I was like, oh God, why did I suggest that? That was such a dumb idea, Nicole.
The one nice thing about ice skating though is if you fall, you have ice immediately right there to put it on your owie.
Afterwards, reading his text message, all I could think was like this uncoordinated fuck.
Oh, dude, that's such a fucking video. Okay.
I know you did. That's why I was laughing so hard this morning.
I went ice skating once, 25 years ago, and I had a blast doing it.
When you lived in Texas?
Yeah.
That's so backwards.
Yeah, it is kind of backwards. Yeah, it is very backwards. But like, yeah,
I live in Minnesota where all it does is snow, but I went ice skating in Texas.
I learned I don't want to do ice skating anymore too. But I had fun doing it. I had fun doing it. No, we took a family vacation to San Antonio to you guys are gonna get 3 stories in one. Anyway, so we took a family vacation to San Antonio, and Mom and Dad, like, they spared no expense on this. Brought my brother wherever my brother and I wanted to go. We went. We ended up at an ice skating rink, and we I had a blast. I fell a lot. There's no 2 ways about it. I knew enough to do this to not hurt my melon. I figured out how to be able to turn, like be able to go fast and do a 180 turn and mostly not wipe out. I don't think my poor knees would appreciate ice skating nowadays. But yeah, it's like roller skating, but if you fall, you make sure your fingers are in because somebody else may chop them off. And that's. Yeah, imagine being splayed out and then somebody else running over your fingers. That kind of terror just That's what keeps
I'd
me up.
rather not imagine any of
That's
those
what keeps me
things.
up at night.
The last
like-
time I went ice skating, my dumbass fell, and my friend, who's Puerto Rican, was ice skating and was like, "How's my tropical ass doing better than you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. The fact, just because like I have Ukrainian blood doesn't mean I like instantly know like how to like fucking do like Siberian husky shit. The hell."
But like, we went for the same family vacation. We went to my mom and dad. They were in San Antonio on their own, and they enjoyed the river walk there, and they enjoyed it so much they had to be like, oh, you boys have to see this. So we did, and it was kind of like a Tex-Mex Rivendell, and so
Oh Jesus Christ!
that's how I can describe it. It's the best way to describe it, and
That's
like
awesome.
we were walking around, and we ended up finding this jazz club that had Dixieland jazz inside, but on the outside they had a saxophone and piano playing duo. And yeah, we sat back and we were giving them dollars to play songs, and we were just having like whatever beverages, and yeah, it was a good time. And so my dad liked roller coasters. My dad was a pilot, and he was a big fan of things that go fast. And so like he was a big fan of roller coasters. So we went to Six Flags over Texas, and that was a big disappointment because there was a lot of fucking we were in spring right before the start of we were on off season, and so there were still a lot of rides that were under maintenance, so we did not go on as many roller coasters as we would have liked to, which was disappointing. The next day we went to SeaWorld, and they had 3 roller coasters, and they were all very functional, and so
Perfect.
we ended up going on those a bunch. And this is the fun part of the story. So we're driving to SeaWorld, and from the distance you can see one of the humps of one of the roller coasters. And my brother and I are like, ooh, I wonder which one that is. Ooh, that looks cool, blah, blah, blah. And we're getting a little closer, and things getting a little bigger, and we're like, we got to do that. That's going to be cool, blah, blah, blah. And my dad who's driving says, that looks like a nothing roller coaster. It just goes up and down. Okay. And my mom says, well, maybe I'll go on with you boys. And at that point in time, my brother and I just latched onto that idea like honey badgers, like pack hunting honey badgers. And side note, Rob, if you're watching, I doubt you are, but if you are, best of luck on your recovery. So back to the story. So we are pack hunting honey badgers. Yeah, mom's gonna go with us, and my brother's in the backseat, like, yeah, mom's gonna go with us. And we're getting there, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll go on with you boys, and blah blah blah. And we're like, yeah, it's gotta be fucking tall, and she hasn't chickened out yet. So we get there, and we're still like, yeah, mom's going with us, and she's like, okay. And my dad's like,
your mother ain't going on that shit.
And we're in the parking lot, and we're like, yeah. And mom's like, okay. And we get to the roller coaster, and she looks up, goes, ooh, that's a little tall. And we're like, yeah, we're going. And we get her into the cart. As soon as the thing goes, she's like, oh. That's when she had a little bit of a change of mind. And now, by this point in time, I had already told my brother, you've helped. You're riding beside her. And so yeah, so he sat next to her, and I'm in the car in front of them, or the seat in front of him, and we are going up the first click clack hill, click clack 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 clack, and my mom goes, wait.
No, you can't. You can't wait now. It's too late. You fucking started it.
So we start going.
That's
down.
why the saying is once like the roller coaster, once you're on the roller coaster, you can't get off.
We already missed the point of no return. So it starts going down. And I can hear her screaming. I'm laughing. My brother is laughing.
How old
And
are you?
let's see, 25 years ago, I'm what, 20? How old am I going to be? 23. Let's say
I was
23.
gonna say
All
I
right.
don't actually know that answer of how old you're gonna be, but I do know your
So,
birthday.
so 20, 22, 23. I was old enough to order beer on my own. And anyway, so yeah, so she's screaming, and we were just having a good old time. Yeah. So we get off. My dad's smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "How was that?" And we're like, "It was great." Blah, blah, blah. My mom, "Oh, it was awful." And my dad just goes, "Oh, it looks like a nothing ride." Now, mind you, the next roller coaster we went on was the Great White. I guess they only had two roller coasters. The Great White, and it had nothing but barrel rolls and flips and loops. And my dad and I went on that a bunch of times. My dad liked that one. He didn't like the up and down.
Yeah.
Loops and spins and rolls. That's cool. So, but we finished that, and you know what my brother did?
Threw up.
No, he bought the fucking photograph of us going down the hill. So you have me, dumb face, my brother, and my mom is holding. You can see she has got her. Let's see, I need a hand. She has got a death grip on my brother's arm, and she's just screaming like this.
Please tell me you still have it. Please tell me you still have it.
I
Please tell me.
don't know, but I do know.
Oh, find it!
My brother's got to have this. Like, but mom's funeral. That's my photo of choice.
Yeah, mom's funeral. That's gonna be your obituary. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, that's good too. But I just figured the memorial, we are using that photo. But yeah, obituary, that's even better. Good job.
You're welcome. My
Yeah.
sister hates roller coasters, and it's kind of funny that you fucking convinced your mother at SeaWorld, and I convinced my sister at SeaWorld. I told her that this one, it was like a silly one. It was, like it went like in a spiral kind of thing, but it was fast as shit. And this is in San Diego. And I was like, it's just a loopy ride. It's nothing. It's just a looping ride. God, I am such a shit. Because that looping ride was clearly a fucking roller coaster. And the second it started moving, she goes, I hate you. And all I could think is, I know. Oh my God.
Oh, when'd you have mulled wine? Dude, I love mulled wine.
Last night, I think, on his
Yeah?
date.
It was like the first time you heard the Beatles.
Wait, did you hear the Beatles for the first time yesterday, or are you saying that
It was
having
the
mulled
same type
wine?
of sensory. And so you're saying it's the same type of sensory enjoyment as when you heard the Beatles.
Okay, I understand that better. So,
Yeah, I can't do.
Okay. Dylan, does your dad like roller coasters too? Because is this just like a Bob thing? Because my father's always like, since I was little, has always been like, fuck yeah! He would leave my sister and I at the bottom, at the exit, waiting for him so he could go on the roller coasters until I finally was tall enough. I swear to God, my dad is the only kind of person that would be like, oh, here are my two young daughters who are 7 and 10. You stay here while I go on the ride. Don't get kidnapped. Bye.
I mean, a year later, my dad and I, we took this road trip to Florida, and we ended up in Williamsburg, Virginia to do. Yep. And
It's so
we were in Busch Gardens.
I love Busch
and
Gardens.
we rode all the roller coasters we could there. They were supposed to have a roller coaster that did a barrel roll. That was my dad's favorite stunt, and that was down. But there was Busch Gardens in Williamsburg was very much themed after old Europe, and so
I love it.
different parts of the theme park are just different countries and stuff. And so the Big Bad Wolf was a fantastic suspended
It's still there.
coaster.
Still there.
So the cars are underneath. It was a lot of fun. Actually, I have the stuffed animal right there from it.
I got my mom a rose, a ceramic rose. I think it was in France. And when she died, I took it, and it's down here now. She had it since I was like 16 when I went like and got it for her.
And the
Yeah!
printing, you can see the printing is like all peeled and shit.
It's so old. Oh my god, I love it so much. That
So,
makes
like,
me so happy.
so in Scotland they have the Loch Ness Monster roller coaster, which is really cool. It's got two interlocking
Where?
loops at Busch Gardens.
Oh,
Williamsburg.
I thought you meant literally in
No,
Scotland.
no.
I was like,
It's got the Scotland, the designated the area designated.
my
Scotland
dumbass
there
is like, when did you go to Scotland?
never. I don't have a passport. So
That's why
yeah,
I
so
was
it has
confused.
two interlocking loops, which is badass, right? And so when my dad and I were there, like I said, one short year later, they had opened up a new area called, no, they had opened a new roller coaster in their Amsterdam area, and it was 190 feet up, and it had a 170 plus plunge, right? And it was brand new for that year, and the wait was over an hour, and we waited in there. Did not and it's one of those suspended roller coasters where you're sitting and your feet are dangling, and I thought I was going to lose a sandal, but we didn't lose anything. But we stood in line to do that for an hour and some change, and then we went to do the rest of the roller coasters, and then we discovered Loch Ness Monster was their best ride before this, and there was almost no wait to it because everybody wants to go to the new one. So my dad and I rode this freaking thing like 20 times that day because we would just, once we got off, we'd immediately go back in, and at most the only wait we had was one run of the roller coaster. It was really cool. So we were
that
just
must have been a nice memory.
we were able to bang out a lot of those at that point.
And
in
it was
time.
just you and him.
It was me and my dad, and just like, yeah, family wise, that went, yeah, but like, there might have been like a dozen other people that were able to get on the ride too at the same time because it was just,
No, I meant
it was
like
that,
not you and your brother and your dad. Yeah.
oh, just me and my dad, because I ended up, so we ended up helping my dad take care of his mom's estate in Florida. So that's why we went from El Paso to Florida. But my dad was of the opinion that since we were going to be on the East Coast, we might as well go see my grandparents who were lived off the Chesapeake Bay area. So I was like, well, if we're going to make that big of a trip, I want to go to Busch Gardens, which was only 20 minutes from my grandparents, 20, 30 minutes from my grandparents. So my dad conceded one day that we would be able to go do that. And he begrudgingly said, okay, well, we can do this, even though it's like he's drafting me to go take 2.5 weeks of my time to go help him do this, right? 3 weeks. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we spent 3 weeks doing this, and it was fun.
You just got re-annoyed to your dad.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was interesting because, like, at that time, my dad had instilled the idea that road trips are great and airports suck, and I've not looked back on that idea. Dude, Big Bad Wolf is awesome. That was a great roller coaster.
Hell yeah! It's still there, or at least from what I remember.
And when like my first time going, I've been there like a dozen times, right? Every time I go to see my grandparents, we'd try and go there, or if we and so fun, and yeah, that facility was way more amazing than the amusement park that El Paso had to offer, and it didn't seem like it was that far away. Either from where my grandparents were or just me in general, until my brother and I, we ended up going to, we took a road trip, just him and I, in like 2000, or not 2000, in 1995. It was just he and I going to Dallas to do Six Flags there. And it was a lot of fun, just him and I doing stuff before we got married. And, but yeah.
Does he have kids?
Times. Who?
Your brother?
No.
So you're not an Uncle Rick?
I am. No, I'm not. No. I my brother and I just got a cousin like 3-4 years ago. And sorry.
Aww.
Actually, I guess I am because of Six Flags and Four Strohmeyers. I am because of Alicia's niece.
Oh, fair. Yes.
So yeah.
Pickle Rick.
Other than
Oh
that, yeah. All right, guys, we've been doing this for an hour and a half, and
And his wife has
sorry,
work.
Uncle Rick. What?
I don't know. I always say, whenever I think of like, oh, it's Monday, like, oh, Alicia, like I always like get worried that we're like too long for Alicia.
Well, she has to go to work tomorrow, so yes.
That's what I always think about. Duh.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, so Tuesday is her go to work day instead of work from home day. So yeah, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing all kinds of crap. I got a big ass list of shit that I was supposed to do today that I managed to knock out half of. That means tomorrow is the other half. So
I'm going to play with some tempura paint pens. I'm so excited.
tempura.
Tempura?
Tempura.
Thank you. I'm saying
They're
tempura because I'm literally making mini soup.
I'm like,
Yo.
damn, I want it. I did see. I saw this. I saw a modeler who used. Did not say what type of pen he used, but he used one of the marker blender paints, blender markers. One of the marker blenders as a gluing or as a gluing agent for plastic models. And I was like, really? Like, I don't have one of those. I don't think I have one at my disposal. And I was like, I wonder what kind of plastic he was dissolving. I seriously doubt it'll work on vinyl, but I'm like, we work in all kinds of weird materials.
Have you used enamel paint, like Testors?
Yeah.
What's your favorite enamel paint if you had to pick one?
You can see my sneers. I don't like you.
I know. Well, it's because I have like these like metal charms. Because as Dylan's probably rolling his eyes real hard as I say this whole thing, as a Swiftie, we make friendship bracelets. But
Okay.
this girl who I teach, she literally stole like 7 of mine. She just she asked for one, and then she sat there going like, please, please, and I was like, fine, just take them all. But I want to put I guess red, like blood at the end of the dagger, so it looks like a stab.
Oh, I suppose you could just grab a thing of Testors and like I imagine you're paying a lot for that little tiny bottle. But if you're only doing that little
$3.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It feels like a lot because I know what you're getting out of it, but you know what? For the convenience of having like just this little tiny vessel that's not going to take up a lot of space, it's already got a shaker. It's already got a shaker in it. All you're going to have to do is dip. If you're just going to dip into it, yeah, just fucking get that. Like, okay. Yeah.
I was like, I have a $10 credit at Michael's, and I think those are only $3. So,
color UV resin.
Oh.
Color UV resin. Dip it in there. Cure it that way.
I like that idea. Because then it seals it too.
Yeah.
But don't. Oh my god.
Don't give that ghost no 350. Goddamn, we're having some good cultural references tonight.
What is that? What is that? Oh.
I knew I read that werewolf thing for a reason. I wanted to do the whole thing because I was like, I saw Roy Wood Jr. do it once, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. All right. Because those guys are all right. All right, so let's see. Oh, and when we're done, we can start watching the late night show, guys. That's great too.
When the Chiefs. Oh, I thought you said when the Chiefs. I was like, fuck the Chiefs.
When the Chiefs.
Fuck the Chiefs. Go Lions. That's. That's the only
So-
team I'm rooting for now.
I would like to. I would like to see the Lions win the World Series because of Keenan Peele. Was it Keegan Michael Key? Right. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was like, "What would you do if the Lions won the Stanley Cup?" And he's like, "Let me show you." And he does this whole like, whoa, all around. I'm like, wow, okay, it's entertaining.
Kevin, he's fucking with you. He's fucking with you. He knows it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched the Super Bowl last year if Rihanna wasn't the fucking first, because I have strict rules. No anti-Raider bowls. I didn't watch it for 2 years because it was the Buccaneers and the Chiefs, and then it was like the Niners and the Chiefs, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, or whoever it was, like back to back, but it was like, I can't remember, but each team, it was like a double, like. You did watch the Super Bowl last year because your team was in it, Kevin. You definitely watched the Eagles play in the Super Bowl. You're not going to watch your team play this year.
I don't watch the Super Bowl.
I just realized those were shots fired real hard at him.
What? The
Because
World Series or
they
the?
said you ain't watching it this year.
Well,
Your team ain't in it this year. Such an asshole. No, I'm sorry. I love you. You know I love Jason Kelce so much. I love him so much. That even if you don't like Taylor Swift and that whole Travis Kelce thing, you have to love their podcast. It's so funny. It's just
they have a
so.
podcast.
Yeah, it's called New Heights. It's been on for a while, and I was listening to it before they got together. So when
This
that
is just another
started,
goddamn way that the millionaires and billionaires are taking away the money from the little people, where they're like, we're going to make a podcast, and yeah, fuck that. We're going to draw 2 billion people away from other people right now, like that.
it's so good though, especially when his kids come on and they're like, "Hi, Uncle Travi," and you're like, "Oh, sweet little babies." But you know, they do a segment now, and they were, for some reason, the kids in my church were talking about this, where I teach. They were talking about how the New Heights podcast, ever since he started dating Taylor Swift, and they started doing like answering like questions from like fans or from people who don't know much about the sport, and it's like, you know, a whole bunch of people at like first time, like, you know, sports fan, blah 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 blah, and it's like really cute. And a lot of like the girls were saying it actually gives me something in my like me and my dad something to do together, and I was like, oh, I love that. Stop. Like they literally these like 3 girls were like, we love the Chiefs, and I was like, of course you do. And it was just but they were like, we get to watch it with our dads now, and I was like, oh, my whole heart. Like your dads are probably sitting there like, I don't care.
It's definitely an interesting cultural phenomenon, or like,
You're such a liar, Kevin. His brother's on your team. Oh, are you saying because people were saying that she put him on the map? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
it's an interesting cultural phenomenon. You don't like, yeah.
I think it's cute as hell. Like all these like little girls, like especially those little girls who like the girl who took all my bracelets. Her family is diehard Pittsburgh, and she's like, I love the Chiefs, and I was like, don't tell your mother that shit. Like she will sit there and be like, excuse me.
All right.
Thank you. You're a liar. It's your number one trait. That's true. Because when I first met you, you said you didn't work for Martian Toys, and you literally were behind the counter at Martian Toys.
Probably because you asked a silly question and he gave you a silly answer.
No, because he still, at the time, he was technically contracted. So he's like, I don't work for them. I work in...
I bet you asked him a silly question. because Kevin, we know Kev does not like silly questions.
He's laughing because I literally like he would just dance around the answer of a yes with like stipulations. Well, no, but I work part-time sometimes with like, you know, just suggesting things to them. And I'm like, oh my God.
True fact.
And then he started working full-time there, and I was like, do you work for him now, bitch? And now he has his other job, and and now he can go back to lying. That's fair.
All right, folks. We are going to today. So in the show. So right now.
So what I made is this little sushi.
That's adorable.
I'm gonna resin this one on. So Jesus. So what they had you do is they had you mix the fake rice with this little thing and put it in the mold to make a little fish on top. So that's what I did.
That's cute. All right, Nicole, tell everybody where they can see the resin making sushi things.
Yeah, I think I need to start posting this shit, like making videos of me doing this.
You should.
Here. Because I'm making an Alice in Wonderland tablescape, so that'll be a thing.
And then that's everything. Threads, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Are you gonna do TikTok?
No.
I didn't know how far we could get you into this.
No.
You look so sad saying it.
I've already had succumbed to making shorts for YouTube. Yeah.
You're like, be happy I don't have a flip phone, Nicole. All right.
Yeah, that too. All right, folks. See you in February. Can you believe it? Have a good night.